Hello and welcome to the Walking Talking topic on Surds and Indices, question number 6 with me, Mr. Barton. Right, what's going on here? Express 8 to the power of minus 2/3 as a decimal. That's a nice little twist there. So 8 to the power of minus 2/3 as a decimal. Okay, let's get this sorted out. We've got our minus there is going to mean our reciprocal, as we've spoke about in the last few videos. So that's 1 over 8 to the power of 2/3. We know also from the previous two videos that that 3 means the cube root and the 2 means the power. So it's going to be 1 over the cube root of 8 squared. Well, the cube root of 8 is just going to be 2. So that's going to be 1 over 2 squared, and 2 squared is 4, so it's going to be 1 over 4, and we need to write our answer as a decimal. 1 over 4 equals 0.25. Nice. Okay, what about this one? I love this question here. Factorise 4x squared minus 1,600. Really tricky question there, really challenging question. You've got to be good enough to spot that this is a difference of two squareds question here. You have got 4x squared minus 1,600. A couple of ways to do it. Easiest way probably to start off with is to take out a factor of 4. So I'm going to say 4 there, and I get myself a big bracket, and I'm left with an x squared there. And if I take a factor of 4 out of 1,600, I think I'm left with 400. So I get 4 brackets x squared minus 400. Now what can I do with x squared minus 400? And this is the difference of two squareds that I'm talking about. You've got to be good enough to recognise 400 as a square number. What times what gives you 400? Well, I think it's 20. 20 times 20 gives you 400. So you end up with 4, and then inside we're going to have an x plus 20 and an x minus 20. And if you expand out this double bracket, you get x times x, x squared, brilliant. You get x times minus 20, minus 20x, 20 times x plus 20x, they're going to disappear, and then 20 times minus 20 is minus 400, which is exactly what we wanted. And then if we multiply each of those by 4, we get back to what we started from. Really nice question, that one, really nice. What the flipping heck's going on here? Evaluate square root of 3 to the power of 6. Now this is fusing together our Indices Laws again. You've got to know that the square root of 3, as we've spoke about, is 3 to the power of a half. That's what square root means in indices. All to the power of 6. And when you've got a power raised to another power, you multiply them together. Power raised to a power, multiply them together. So you end up with 3 to the power of a half times 6, a half of 6, which is just going to be 3. And we're nearly there, but the question said evaluate, so that's a posh word for saying give me the actual answer. 3 to the power of 3, well that's 3 times 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 is 9, times another 3 is 27. So that's going to equal 27. Hard question. And then just when you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll have a little relax now, you get this double bracket surd question. So let's get this one sorted out. Just write it out a bit bigger. 2 plus 3 root 2. Multiplied by 5 minus root 2. Well, let's take our time just like we do with double brackets with algebra. 2 times 5, 10. 2 times minus 2 is minus 2 root 2. 5 times 3 root 2. Be careful with this one. 5 times 3 is 15 and it's positive. And then you've got root 2 there. That's 5 lots of 3 root 2. That's 15 root 2. So a lot of people get that one wrong for some reason. And then the final bit, and this is where it could all go wrong here. Firstly, we've got a positive times a negative, so we've got to have a negative. We've got 3 lots of root 2 times another root 2. Well, let's just write this out over here. 3 times root 2 times another root 2. Well, root 2 times root 2 is going to be root 4, which is otherwise known as 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. So you're going to just end up there with 6. But that's quite tricky to get, so just have a quick look at that and make sure you're happy with that. And as I say, writing it out in full tends to be the safest way. Then we've just got to tidy it up. 10 take away 6 is going to be 4. Minus 2 root 2, add on 15 root 2s, I think it's going to leave us with positive, positive 13 root 2s. Minus 2 root 2, if you add minus 2x plus 15x, you're going to end up with positive 13x. So we end up with 4 plus 13 root 2. Done and dusted.